The Struthers Wildcats last game came at a win at the expense of the Canfield Cardinals that was at home in Struthers 64-51, where the last game for the Falcons came at a loss 48-33 last night here against Hudson. Now, Brandon, we had that call tonight. Of course, Ty Bartel with Brandon Colangelo on the call tonight, but we had the call last night as well, Brandon. And we saw a Fitch team that was very gritty, very grinded out inside, trying to score, but very good defensively. Problem was they couldn't really get into an offensive flow. What are you looking for them to correct here tonight to try to get that offense kind of rolling as well as the defense?
Just to be a little more comfortable on the floor, Ty. I mean, we saw them come out last night against, Hudson.
Yeah.
They came out against Hudson, and they came out a little flat, a little nervous. You could see the first game jitters a little bit. A team that hasn't practiced a ton in this kind of COVID environment. It's not exactly the same. I'm looking to see everyone come out a little bit more comfortable tonight.
And of course, I mean, newer offense, we only have Simons, the only offensive player, or the only player, I should say, in the starting five that is carried over from last year so far. Leskovac, of course, is out right now. But Simons is working with 4 new guys that he really didn't work with much last year. So it's a new offense that they're trying to construct, as well as a new defense. Defense did well, but I'm looking towards Todd Simons. Last night we saw him kind of was more passive the first 3 quarters.
Absolutely.
Kind of got into it scoring-wise that fourth quarter, but was really passive those first 3. I'm looking for them to for him to try to establish himself early on in this game to try to make things happen. And right off the bat, say it enough and it'll happen. Simons right to Boyd immediately coming in with a score.
With an easy assist. And that's a steal right there.
And trying to come out of the gate strong. Couldn't get the second chance bucket up on the attack now. That's inside. Shot is up and in by Schaefer, the big 6'5" Sal Schaefer.
High off the glass.
And boy, oh boy, he's going to be troublesome to guard down low. As we see now, getting it to Smith. Smith out to the wing. Boyd has the ball. Boyd gets it into the corner. Back to the corner now, Simons. Simons out to the top. Smith with it. And a lot of perimeter passing we're seeing so far from the Falcons.
And here it is.
As Boyd tries to repurpose himself in midair. Didn't work out. Smith gets the ball, puts it up, and puts it in.
And that's what they're going to be looking for, Ty, those mid-range jumpers that Smith and Boyd can put in.
And you gotta love, too, post last night is that shot up and in, immediately responding with the 3. Trey Metzka with a tray in the corner and taking a 5-4 Wildcat lead. But you gotta want to see this Falcons team try to be more aggressive too, and not be as scared taking shots as we see a steal from the Wildcats.
Absolutely. If you have a shot, don't be afraid to let it fly. Trust in the shot.
As Ryan gets it inside. As we see now, that's Metzka. And stripped, almost stolen away. Boyd with the active hands hits the ground. Metzka with the 3, puts it up and puts it in again. Raining in another 3, Trey Metzka.
Beautiful stroke for Metzka.
And that's 8-4. Now the Wildcats leading it as Trey Metzka with a pair of trays here in the first quarter. Trying to work inside. And looks like there's a traveling violation is called. That was Jamie Garcia. Was able to work it inside there. Shuffled his feet a little bit too much, though. As we see, foul is called.
And we're seeing it, Ty, the team's out here on the press again. They have all that energy that they're willing to expend on defense, and they're getting turnovers from the gate.
And, I mean, that's what Coach Beanie has told us. This is the defense. This is their identity this year, or what they're going to try to make their identity at least, is this full-court press. We're in your face 100% of the time. If you're going to score on us, it's not going to be easy, and you're going to have to do it through contact. As we see an absolute denial, and it goes back the way of the Falcons. As Jamie Garcia hovering over his guy, and man, from the top, just blocks it, sends it away. Dan Evans now bringing the ball up to Boyd. Boyd gets into a sea of Wildcats. They were able to attack the ball away from him. Shot is up for Metzka, and Metzka is going off in this first quarter. 8 points already on the night for Metzka.
That's a 30-second timeout.
And man, 2 threes, making a mid-range shot and establishing himself early. Metzger versus the Falcons right now. Metzger winning.
Absolutely. And you know, we're seeing it again tonight. The other team's offense is just a little bit more fluid than the Falcons tonight, and they have that lead because of it.
And what we saw last night, too, Falcons did an incredible job of defending that three-point shot. Hudson really couldn't get it going from the outside, and they had struggles, I should say. A lot of trouble shooting it from all areas of the floor, but mostly that perimeter shot. Falcons did a good job of rotating, getting guys in the face of the offensive players. Metzger right now, 2 threes, 2 for 2 on the three-point opportunities. Might be something we want to watch going forward.
Absolutely. They've gotten open from down there.
As Dan Evans bringing the ball up. Cam Smith now to Boyd. Boyd gets to the corner. 3 from Simons. No good, missing everything. Fight for the rebound. Simons gets it back, tries to work his way inside, goes cross-court. Dan Evans hoists up a 3. No good. Rebound again, trying to get it to Evans. Evans was on the ground. Leonard comes away with the ball. Metzger bringing it up. Metzger stopping at the 3 now, working his way inside, passes back out. Corner shot, no, did not go for the shot, went for the fake instead. So we see now Barker. That's Leonard now with the ball. Smith covering. Leonard working his way inside, shot is up, no good. Second chance opportunity, no good. Fighting for the rebound, coming away with it are the Wildcats. Barker travels, though, as he tried to work his way inside. But this Wildcats team, man, they are fast and in a hurry every single time, and we see every miss, everything means something with this Wildcats team. Every movement means something. A lot of off-ball movement we're seeing from Struthers right now.
It's very decisive movement, very decisive actions for the Wildcats, and something you haven't seen much from Fitch. Like I said before, a little off their groove in these games.
So we see Alan Underwood has checked in for the Falcons. Underwood gets it to Simons. Simons with the pump. Shot is up from mid-range. Puts it up and puts it in, and that's what you want to see. More aggressive from Todd Simons. He sinks his first bucket of the game. 2 points on the night for Simons and cutting the Wildcat lead to 4. Trying to attack, and great double team when it happened for the Falcons, leaving Metzger wide open from 3. He's raining it in. Are you kidding me? Trey Metzger, another 3, 11 points on the night. Man, oh man.
Wow.
He ain't named Trey for a reason, folks. 3 triples in the first quarter are ready for Metzger, and a 13-6 Wildcat lead. Underwood on the wing, top of the key. Simons tries to respond, rattles around, no good. Rebounded Metzger. Metzger getting it to Leonard, now out Barker. As Barker getting it back to Metzger. Metzger with the hot hand, able to get his defender, shakes his defender, works his way inside, passes back out. Leonard fakes the 3. Now he's looking for a pass out, gets it to Ryan. Colin Ryan, Isaac Boyd covering. Getting it out, Barker. Barker works his way to the shoulder. Barker now back out, Metzger from downtown, no good. Tried to shoot that one from about half court, as though a second chance opportunity is up and in though for Leonard. And the Wildcats with a 15-6 lead. Struthers Wildcats, 23-4 record last year, lost to Cheney by a score of 3 in the playoffs last year. So if that tells you how good this Wildcats team is, that tells it all. That sums it up all in one word. If you're losing to Cheney, one of the premier basketball teams in the area, and for Struthers to come so close to beating them, that shows you how talented this Wildcats team is.
Absolutely.
As Keaton Kimball checking in now for the Wildcats. Kimball getting it in. That's Slocum. It's now Barker. Stolen away by the Falcons. Simons on the transition, gets a pass up and in. Nice shot. That's Malley
with the little acrobatic move.
As Gianni Malley. Simons was able to find him inside, cutting the Wildcat lead to 7. Corner now back out. Slocum almost stolen away. It's stolen away. Alan Underwood by himself. Nobody in front of him. Blocked though from behind. Are you kidding me, Slocum? And he's feeling himself on that. Last touch though by Slocum. The Falcons keep possession, but great hustle from behind. And correction, now it goes back to the Wildcats.
It seems to have just been a deflection out of bounds. It's a great block.
Absolutely great block. Slocum now Athletic all the way to the rim and puts it up and puts it in.
And they're flighty. They're moving, Struthers.
Slocum, man. One of the most athletic plays we've seen in this game so far. Simon's trying to dial it up, does dial it up, puts it up in with a three. And boy, the Falcons needed that to stay in this game. And Wildcats were threatening to run away with it. As we see Washington with the ball. Works it to the corner, back out to Washington. As Slocum. A lot of movement. Pass goes wayward. Able to recover it, though, was Washington for the Wildcats. Nice inside pass. Rattles off the hand. Stays with the Wildcats, though. As we see, that's Schaefer checking out. As this second unit, as Trey Metzger checking in now for Barker. This second unit is just as hard as the first unit for the Wildcats, just absolutely hustling for everything that they get. Hook shot up, no good. It looks like a foul is going to be called. Goes back the way of the Falcons.
It's Leonard.
Yep, Leonard with the foul. Much different story. It's all offense tonight compared to last night where it was all defense in that first quarter. Simons with the ball. 5 points on the night for Simons.
Well, Struthers is no slouch on offense. They're putting it to them. Fitch is making them work, but they are working for it too, and they're getting it.
The Falcons knew they needed to be able to score in this game. As we see, foul is called as Boyd gets fouled. We'll see if that was on. That's going to be a shooting foul in the act of shooting, so Boyd's going to go to the line for two. Chance to cut the lead to 4 now for the Falcons. Minute 21 left in the first quarter. Falcons trailing the Wildcats now by 5. As the offensive carrying from Trey Metzger, 11 of the 17 Wildcats points coming from Metzger, 3 of which coming from deep. As Boyd going 1 for 2 at the line. And it is a 17-12 Wildcat lead as Kimball gets it out. Metzger rolling his way towards the top of the key, almost stolen away, is stolen away. And they did. They put him into a trap there. Boyd now in transition, trying to go all the way, passes out. It looks like he traveled. Was a foul, though. Who are they calling that one? It looks like it is on Washington. As Brandon Washington with the foul. Cam Smith checking in for Boyd. And it looks like passing in was Simons. Cam Smith to Underwood. Back out. Simons taking a 3. That is off. A little too strong. Looks like he rushed that 3 a little bit.
A little bit. Couldn't get his feet set a little under him.
Almost stolen away as Simons trying to get the ball off of Metzger. That's Washington. Great inside pass to Kimball, putting it up and putting it in. No look pass. Wow. Brandon Washington. They're bringing out all the flashy plays tonight. As Simons wisely slowing the pace down as Struthers has been 100% hitting the gas since the opening tip-off. Simons now just trying to slow things down, get into an offensive flow.
As the rhythm dribble.
As we are 15 seconds and ticking left in this first quarter. Falcons down by 7. Simons trying to get to a spot. Passes to Underwood. Underwood now 3 is up. No good. Misses everything. Metzger with the rebound. 4 seconds and ticking. Stolen away by Simons. Simons trying to go all the way. Shot is up. No good. Last second shot attempt. Rattles off the rim, and that's going to do it for our first quarter as the Struthers Wildcats lead the Austintown Fitch Falcons by a score of 19-12, and we'll have that second quarter coming up for you here live on YSN.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from
Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown is going the extra mile. With the largest inventory of new 2020 Chevrolet vehicles, your journey to a better vehicle starts at the Mahoning Valley's #1 new car dealer, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. located on South Avenue in Boardman.
As we return here, resume action for the second quarter between the Austintown Fitch Falcons and the Struthers Wildcats. We saw the Struthers Wildcats deal the first blow, winning that first quarter by a score of 19-12. And Brandon, nothing else to say, but Trey Metzger is what happened in that first quarter against the Falcons, raining in threes from all areas of the court.
Oh, absolutely lighting it up from downtown.
As we see 3 triples so far on the night for Metzger, and that has resulted in a 7-point Wildcat lead. As Slocum with the mid-ranger puts it up and puts it in with coverage.
Right over him.
And this Aiden Slocum that's coming off the bench, man, he's as athletic as any of them. As Cam Smith out to Simons. Simons covered by Washington. Simons gets it out. That's Evans. Evans to the corner. Back out, and we see Collins, Evan Collins checking in, and we saw got a couple minutes. Good shooter, good defender, primarily plays on the JV squad for this Falcons team, but has a lot of potential. As Simons now with the ball, kicking it back out. That's Evans, now back out. That's a 3 from Smith, rattles around in and out, no good. Wildcats on the attack now. Slocum working his way inside, shot is up, no good, but the foul, and will go to the line for 2, I believe.
That's on Evans.
Yep, in the act of shooting, and going to the line for 2 is Slocum.
And they just Falcons can't seem to get it going on the offense, rather. They're looking for something that hasn't come around yet. But
as missing the first free throw was Slocum. 21-12 lead for the Wildcats. But I mean, the Wildcats are doing to the Falcons what the Falcons were trying to do to Hudson yesterday, and just coming out guns a-blazing fast and in a hurry, and that is stolen away. Bad pass there by Simons. Slocum gets to a spot, blocked though by Simons, immediately redeems himself. Tries to go inside. Washington now making his move, gets to the block, puts it up and puts it in, and it's an 11-point lead. As Washington is able to get to that right block, make a nice little move, put it up, put it in. Simons now with the ball, getting it to Smith. Cam Smith finding Evans in the corner. Evans well guarded. Slocum now transitions onto him. Now to Simons. Simons in the corner, makes a move, gets to the baseline, shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Metzger. Washington now running in transition. Washington makes a move, pass out to the wing, to the corner, back out, top of the key. 3 is up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Washington bouncing it off the backboard, could not recover it. Simons now running it in the transition game. Simons, top of the key to the corner. Dan Evans lines up a wide open 3, no good. Rebounded Wildcats. Here comes Slocum on the opposite end. Slocum guarded by Collins, blocked away by Simons. Slocum hits the ground hard. Mismatch there, foul, and that was a great foul by the Wildcats to stop that. That's a transition bucket that's waiting to happen.
Absolutely, transition bucket for Simons up there.
Because after Slocum hit the ground, the Falcons had a 3-on-2 going down the court, and Simons was left wide open, nobody on him. So smart just to reset the defense for the Wildcats, as the Falcons need to get something going, because the Wildcats, the way they're scoring, they're threatening to run away with this right now.
And you have to give it up to the Wildcats defense also. They're running a near perfect zone right now on Fitch on defense, and they cannot seem to get any of their perimeter shots going and anything down low. And they're picking up steals too.
And that's going to be another foul. We'll see who that one was on. That's going to be on number 24. That's Sal Schaefer, the big 6'5" forward for the Wildcats. Looks like a defensive end that's playing basketball. It does Schaefer. As we see Collins now with the ball. Collins getting it to Dan Evans. Evans out to Smith. Smith operates a lot out of that wing, but it's stolen away. Trying to get the ball back, and they were. Falcons, great hustle to be able to catch up to the ball. Does go out of bounds. Last touch by Smith. Wildcats get it back.
A lot of hustle tonight, Ty.
Absolutely, and you gotta love the hustle you're seeing from Fitch. Just the problem is it's not operating as a coherent offense, because it's so new. Yeah, these guys are so new with each other.
They just can't turn it into points.
The Slocum guarded by Evans. Out now, that's Barker. Barker to Washington, top of the key. Now out We saw him making a lot of threes. Was Schaefer, decided not to go there. Metzger fakes the three, now drives his way inside to the shoulder, makes a move. Traveling violation called on Metzger. Goes back to the Falcons.
Try to get pretty with it with the up and under there, but gets the call for the travel.
And you see how far up they're playing Metzger now from three. He was about 3 foot beyond the line, and they're up on him.
And they're up on him, and they double him when he gets down low now. They've adjusted to him.
After the 11-point scoring outburst from Metzger in the first, Falcons have been able to contain him, hold him quiet here in the second.
And his 11 gives them their 11-point lead, actually.
Absolutely, as Collins now operating from the wing, gets it to the opposite wing. Shot is up, no good, but it's blocked. As Schaefer with the cross-court pass, Slocum able to rattle that in. Unbelievable athleticism from Slocum. Are you kidding me?
The acrobatics tonight.
Isaac Boyd with the fake, now got an open lane, shot is up, tried to respond on the opposite end, no good. Fight for the ball. We'll see which way they're calling it. Falcons keeping the ball. As Simon's checking in. It looks like Evan Solly checking out, so is Jamie Garcia's checking in as well. As there's some confusion. There we go, we got a sub out. We were operating with 6 men on the floor for a second there.
And Beanie just saying, you know, to communicate on the floor, communicate to your teammates out there.
As Simon's getting it to Palmer, back to Simons. Simons trying to work it inside to Garcia. Another pass wayward by Simons. Well, trying to go all the way. Slocum, man. What an engine this kid has. He gets the ball and he is straight to the basket with it. Long strides, and he is just fast. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. He has such great acceleration after he has the ball in his hands, and he's right to the basket every single time. As Palmer getting it to Simons. Simons with a three from the corner. Drains that in from the corner, cutting the Wildcat lead to 10.
And they need to they're doing those off-ball screens in the corner now to try and get their shooters open, and that one works for Simons.
Fighting for the ball and able to steal it as Palmer, and a bad pass going out of bounds. Last touch by the Wildcats. Falcons will keep it. You got to wonder, though, I mean, I don't know what Palmer was looking for that open man, but I mean, he himself was open from the mid-range. He could have just hoisted up a shot from right there.
And you know, Tyler, I think that speaks to kind of what we've been saying. It's a little funky on the Falcons offense. They're not kind of sure what they need to be doing out there.
Absolutely, and I mean, it's hard because you're operating, like we said, with a new offense. It's an offense that's never really played with each other, and I mean, that's just going to come with time. They're going to have to learn how to play with each other.
Absolutely.
As Simons, guarded by Barker, cross court to Palmer. Palmer now dribbles his way out, gets it to Evans. Evans from the top of the key back to Palmer. And they're doing a nice zone defense, as you alluded to earlier, Brandon. And it's a lot of getting double teams. It's just shifting. It's almost a single shift, and that's all they're doing. They're just shifting themselves to wherever the ball goes. And the Falcons really can't get any offensive flow going. It's just passing around the perimeter, wing to wing.
They're just shifting and blocking those lines for those passes. They will not let them get it down low to their big men. No scoring inside for the Falcons.
Yeah, like you said, doing a great job cutting off all passing lanes as Simons tries to heat it up. No good from distance. Rebounded by Leonard. And off of the back of Slocum.
Little
miscommunication. Yep.
You owe me a Coke.
As we saw Metzger, I mean, Slocum just turned around. He thought Metzger was bringing it up. Just a mental error going on right there. Metzger has been primarily bringing it up this whole game, but it just comes down to a communication issue. What a great reverse layup by Todd Simons.
Great hesitation there to get the up and under.
And this is what you want to see more of if you're a Falcons fan, is Todd Simons just trying to score the ball, because that's where the Falcons have the best chance of winning. Getting it inside Washington with the pass. Traveling violation on Washington. He's disagreeing with the officials. And it's a timeout, Wildcats. 2:55 left in the half. A 30-second timeout from the Wildcats. And Brandon, we're seeing the Falcons. They're trying to adjust a little bit. And I mean, it just comes back to they got to figure out the offense, but they're doing great things now. We saw a shift defensively from the first quarter to the second quarter from the Falcons right now, and they're doing a great job of shutting down those Struthers threes. We haven't seen Struthers. I don't even know if they've attempted a three this quarter.
I don't think they have either.
And it goes back to the Falcons. They were able to shut down Hudson last night a lot from distance. They're doing it now in the second quarter after getting burned by Metzger in the first. The defense is there, and they're doing a great job, just like last night, creating turnovers. They're getting the steals. They're getting the ball back. It's just you got to finish off of those turnovers.
Yes, you have to finish on the other end, and they just can't seem to really get a formula going out there. Which plays to run. They can't seem to get the movement they need out there on the floor.
As Palmer, that's Boyd with it. Boyd out, that's Malley, Gianni Malley. Malley, quick on his feet, gets it out to Boyd. Boyd into the trap, trying to operate out of that trap, gets it to the corner, and it's going to be a push on the Wildcats. And that's Ronnie Leonard picking up the foul. As Schaefer will check in for Leonard. But this Struthers Wildcat team, they're very deep off the bench, too. Everyone comes in and they have a purpose, and they're just a very athletic all-around team.
Absolutely.
As that one sailing out of bounds, Falcons get the ball back. Simons now, 2.5 minutes left in the half. Simons calling for a screen, now waving it off, calling for Palmer, different person to screen here. Screen is set, Simons back out to Palmer. Palmer to Malley, inside, Simons with the mid-ranger, rattles around. Design play that worked out, Simons just missed it. Back out to Simons, was able to get the cut inside the Boyd. That was a great pass.
And there it goes, here it comes.
Cutting it to 6. Those are the passes you want to see from Todd Simons. And it seems sometimes he wants to get his team into the flow of things. That's ultimately, because he can't carry this team by himself, obviously. He wants to get his team into the flow of things, but we saw it last night. We were seeing it earlier tonight. He seems to be trying to force these passes because he wants his team so badly to get into the flow of things, to get scoring, to get comfortable within the lanes of the game, and they aren't right now. And a lucky tip there by the Wildcats. Get a score up and in. Boyd trying to hustle to the rim, goes out of bounds, goes back to the Wildcats.
And seeing Boyd just loses the ball there, and some of these things are just little mental errors, just fuzzy on offense.
And it seems like it's I don't know if it's a confidence issue right now with the Falcons, because it seems like every time they get things rolling, they make some of these mental mistakes that just send them back. And I mean, we talked about it, and I mean, we've been pounding it in right now that it's a new offense, and you got to learn to play with each other. It's a team that has to learn to play with each other, and you see these kind of mental errors, and it's like sometimes players forget where they're supposed to be, where they're supposed to be moving off ball, and you could see that this is a newer team just trying to learn how to play with each other.
Absolutely, and they're just really feeling it out. And these first couple games, we're going to see a feeling out process like we're seeing now.
As Metzger handing it off to Slocum. Slocum guarded by Malley. Operating right there at the half-court line.
And they are really pressuring Slocum now that they've seen what he can do.
Absolutely, and staying with Slocum is one thing, because he is so quick. As we see, just great acceleration, making a single move, little crossover move, and it's 100% to the rim.
Absolutely, his speed with the ball was great.
And it's just so quick. Off the dribble is Slocum. I mean, like we said, one move, and he's right to the basket. And it's almost in the blink of an eye. You blink and you'll miss him. And I don't know if the Falcons have been trying to switch so many guys on him. I don't know if the Falcons have someone that has the speed to keep up with him right now.
We're going to be looking at people probably like Boyd, probably like, well, I mean, unless you put a large man on him, I don't know.
And I mean, yeah, you could realistically put a Simons on him, but then you leave Metzger open, and that's primarily what Simons has done, is tried to shut Metzger down in this second quarter.
He's done a great job.
Minute 5 left in the half. Simons calling for a screen from Garcia. Simons lining up a 3, putting in a 3, cutting it to 7. And this is a different Todd Simons we're seeing tonight as compared to last night, Brandon.
And and we're seeing comfortableness, we're seeing fluidity on offense for him.
As Simons, he was very passive in last night's game, and we talked about it. You got to be. He didn't show his aggressive side until that fourth quarter. We saw the dunk on him. It fired him up. Tonight, I mean, 13 points on the night for Simons. He's coming out what we're used to seeing from him right now.
And I think that's close to the total we had last game, and we're 40 seconds from half now.
As Simon just holding the ball, waiting. Falcons catching their breath. Underwood now holding the ball. Falcons look like they might be trying to hold for the last shot, getting it to Malley, almost stolen away. Simons to Garcia. Malley, foul on the entry pass.
That foul's on Trey Metzger.
And I believe the Falcons are in the bonus, so it's going to be a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Falcons. Garcia will be heading to the line. It's 29-22, Wildcat leading. Chance to cut it within 5 after the Wildcats were leading by as much as 12 earlier this game. As the first one is up and in, now we'll have a chance to go for his second. As Falcons sending everyone back on defense, not allowing any transitional buckets to happen on them.
No, because every point matters right now from both teams.
And we know how quickly this Wildcats team can move as it goes 2 for 2 at the line, does Garcia, and it is a 5-point Wildcat lead now.
And we have some subs as Javen Collins, number 33, comes in for the Falcons.
As they're utilizing Collins a lot more tonight than they were last night as Slocum, 18 seconds and ticking. Guarding him is Underwood. Underwood trying to stay with Slocum off of the screen. Now Collins picks him up, goes to Schaefer to the corner. 3 is hoisted up, 3 is sunk through the net. That's William Bloom. As Boyd trying to respond, hoists up a 3, no good, missing everything. Last second 3 gives the Wildcats an 8-point lead. And the Falcons are going to need to try to play come from behind basketball again, much like they did last night. We'll see if the offense can get things going in that second half, Brandon.
Absolutely.
And of course, we will have that second half and much more for you here live on ysnlive.com.
Tonight,
21 News.
Let's get right to our top story tonight.
More experienced reporters.
A new Wilmington
At
restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
Telling more local stories.
We'll look at
Baby
efforts
boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
Around our
Good
valley.
afternoon. We are here in Youngstown, right up.
Because you expect
It's important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County
Before
Court.
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went to Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
This is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Friday night, it's fresh limousine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, like I'm living the dream. Platform shoes, strutting down the street. It's gonna get hot in here, I hope you can handle the heat.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Tri-State Ford announces the Built for the Holiday sales event. Get America's best price on F-150 and great deals on our entire Ford lineup. Choose from Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition and get $2,000 trade assist cash, plus 0% financing, plus no payment for 90 days on all new 2021 Ford models, plus a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. Now that's the Tri-State Ford advantage.
Customer focus, community driven. Visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back in as we are gearing up for a second half of basketball between the Austintown Fitch Falcons and the Struthers Wildcats. Of course, Ty Bartell here with Brandon Colangelo with the call tonight. And Brandon, what we saw in that first half, Fitch a lot better offensively than they were last night. Still struggling in some aspects, but boy, this Wildcats team, man, they're equaling or even surpassing the hustle of Fitch in some aspects, as well as just shooting the ball. They were shooting lights out in that first quarter. What do you do right now if you're Fitch to try to stop this team? Because, I mean, you can't stop athleticism, but how do you try to at least slow it down?
Well, we saw them start to do it at the end of the first half. You know, they were getting more steals. They're stopping them more half court. They're pressuring them a lot. They're double teaming. And, you know, I think the key more than anything is the offense. You know, getting that offensive flow out there on the floor and figuring out the half court.
As Simons lost the ball, Cam Smith recovers it, tries to shoot it up, no good. Boyd with the second chance opportunity, that is no good. Out of bounds, stays with the Falcons.
But yeah, I believe the key is in the offense, Ty.
As we now have an 8-point deficit for the Falcons. Falcons needing to string together some buckets, and that's where they're struggling with. Cam Smith shot is up, no good, and trying to get it off the leg of the Wildcats. Able to recover it though, as Evans passes up a three, tries to go inside with a shot up, no good. Rebounded Wildcats. And shots like that, you wonder why not just take a three in that situation. It has to deal with the comfort level of these players. As Simons able to grab that bound, running in transition now, stops, pops, no good. Tries to use the glass off the backboard to try to score. And a great transition, Washington. Cam Smith able to catch up, I should say, but didn't matter. Washington with a nice move inside, able to put it up and put it in.
And see, Boyd comes on the help there. He needs to get up on that shot. You can't let that go in uncontested.
As we see now, Evans to Boyd. Boyd out, back to Boyd. And this is what the Falcons were. This is how the offense became stagnant. Deep three from Simons, no good. And if the Wildcats are forcing the Falcons to take threes from that distance, they're going to be pretty comfortable with the way their defense is playing. As Metzka getting it out, that's Slocum. Slocum with Evans covering now to Bloom. Corner, that's Washington. But we see the Falcons operating very stagnantly around the perimeter, as that three no good. Rebounded though by Bloom, and it goes back to the Wildcats doing a great job defensively cutting down those passing lanes. There's another three from Trey Metzka, 4 triples on the night, and that is now 14 points for Metzka.
Deep in the corner,
as he has been stellar for this Wildcats team. Evans trying to put the dribble drive on him. Nice move to work his way inside. Cam Smith with another three, missing that one. And Cam Smith just looking uncomfortable shooting the ball here tonight.
Now, see, when I say earlier you need to be a little more comfortable from your shot, you need to start making them.
Yeah.
You know, he's taken 3 of those now, and he just hasn't had any of them to get down. Wow, what a finish there.
Great finish from Washington, as the Wildcats now threatening to blow the lid open here. Simons trying to keep his team in the game. Back out to Smith. Corner to Evans. Evans, Metzka covering. Washington picks him up now into that double team. Getting trapped into the corner. Stays with the Falcons after losing possession. as Evan Salih and Alan Underwood are checking in now for the Falcons. Checking out are Smith and Jamie Garcia. Simons looking for that pass. Falcons trying to get open. Has to go into the backcourt to get it to Evans to avoid turning the ball over. Evans to Simons. Simons thought about a three, decides not to, tries to cut to the left. Now to the wing. Three is up from Evans. Up and in from Dan Evans.
And they doubled Simons there, and it opened Evans up.
And Dan Evans is a very good three-point shooter. You just want to see him more comfortable taking those shots, and you'd like to see him shoot it at kind of a higher volume, too, from the perimeter. Trying to work it inside. That's Leonard. Leonard backing down his man, and it doesn't matter. Get out of his way. Shot up and in for Leonard. 41-27, Wildcat lead. Evans now. Nice move. Getting it to Underwood. Underwood to the wing, now back out on the baseline. That's Salih, back out to Underwood. Underwood with the dribble, gets it to Simons. Simons now from the wing, works his way inside. Shot is up, no good. And just looks like he rushed that layup there. And on the opposite end, Washington didn't need to rush that one. He had it all to himself. 43-27 lead. And now lid is starting to open up a little bit here, Brandon. And the Wildcats are threatening to break out of their cage and really take this whole thing out of proportions and just blow it out of the water.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Wildcats' prey tonight.
Yeah, as right now, Wildcats bringing the Falcons into the jungle right now and showing them who the real king of the jungle is. 43-27 lead, but it goes back to the Falcons. They do some things right. We saw that Dan Evans three, and then it's just mental errors on the opposite side. It's trying to get that string of consistency to happen on both sides of the court, and it seems like once one area is up, the other area falters for the Falcons, and they can't find that string of consistency that they're really looking for to put everything together.
And that kind of leaves you to the assumption that it's kind of a mental toughness thing. You know, it's a conditioning thing. It's more practices, more time on the court, more time with Coach Beanie in practice to get all these hitches kind of ironed out from their coaching staff.
And of course, it doesn't help too that this is a COVID year.
Absolutely.
We have games that are getting pulled. The schedule's constantly changing. These kids don't know if they're going to play tomorrow, next week, or what's even going to be happening. And that's all paired with the fact that, you have all these guidelines implemented by OHSAA,
yes,
as well as it's a completely new team that you're trying to form it around. And it brings on a whole set of challenges for a coach and a whole set of new challenges that coaches haven't had to deal with before.
Absolutely.
As Simons trying to work it inside, Boyd tries the hesitation, couldn't get the shot up in all the way. Simons on the second chance opportunity, puts it up and puts it in. Simons with 15 on the night, 3:55 left in the third. Trying to get it to his man. Leonard goes out of bounds, out of his reach. Falcons get the ball back.
See if they can string it together now.
As now Evans trying to get to his spot, now passes out. Underwood fakes the three, goes inside. That's Simon. Shot is up and in. Simons again from mid-range. That was from the shoulder.
And we're going to look for more of those mid-range jumpers from Simons.
17 on the night. Way to get there on Leonard, and they were able to catch up there. Were the Falcons defensively. Underwood now to Boyd. Boyd taking it all the way, putting it up, putting it in, and one opportunity for Isaac Boyd.
Great take by Boyd there on contact.
And that's going to give the Falcons a chance to cut it within 10. Now this comes back to it. Here they're doing things well. Defensively, it's working out. Defense creating offense. Can they string together this consistency now?
Absolutely. Like I said before, if they can start stringing these possessions together, get stops on one end and can get the quick buckets on the other, we're going to see this lead, this 10-point lead, die away pretty quickly.
That is now 8 points on the night for Boyd.
It's not to say Struthers can't, put the pressure back on the Falcons, though.
As we see Washington making that cut inside, tries to go reverse layup, puts it up and puts it in.
We're going to see more big play now that they can't get their perimeter stuff going.
Lead back up to 11 for the Wildcats. Boyd, of course, we talked about 8 points on the night. The Falcons really needing that second scorer to complement Simons, and Boyd is trying to step up and be that guy tonight. Underwood now with the ball. Underwood to Evans. Evans from three. No good. Fight for the rebound. Salih has it ripped out of his hands. Washington fight Dan Evans tried to steal it off of him, and that's a traveling violation on Trey Metzka. Goes back to the way of the Falcons.
Maybe they're getting their stops.
We hear Michael Wernicke, coach for the Wildcats, yelling at his players. They're arguing here with the officials. He's yelling, just get back on defense. I mean, you're up by 11 right now. No sense to get on the bad side of the officials in this moment.
Absolutely.
As a foul is called on Simons, and we'll see what the foul was on, if it was in the act of shooting or just on the floor.
They're going to the line.
That foul's on Trey Metzka.
And Simons, 2 opportunities at the line, 17 points on the night so far. But this is what you wanted to see more of, and Simons really dialing it in, showing more of the type of player he needs to be for this Falcons team right now.
Right, showing his full potential as a basketball player out there.
There's 18 now for Simons. Is Gianni Malley checking in, Dan Evans checking out. Is Jevin Collins also looking to check in. Has 2-for-2 opportunity at the line. Joe Roth also checking in for the Falcons. As Simons, I don't know how many minutes he's played or how many minutes he hasn't played is a better question. Simons, I think, has virtually been on the floor this whole game so far.
Absolutely. I think he only subbed out once.
It's now Wildcats as we see Slocum, Collins guarding. And Collins might be the best option to try to guard Slocum. As a nice steal by Boyd. Boyd trying to weave his way through defenders. Shot is up, no good. Second chance opportunity, no good. As Roth fouled, trying to go for the rebound. as we see again, trying to argue with the officials, we're the Wildcats, and we hear Coach Wernicke yelling at his players, just stop talking.
You know, just get in the game and play your position.
And it's at the high school level, you're never going to win any arguments. Almost at any level, you're not winning any arguments against the official.
Absolutely. You know, we watch the NBA players, and they can, talk it up. LeBron talks it, but, none of these players are LeBron James.
Yeah, so you're not going to win these arguments, so it's just better to just stay quiet. As a traveling violation called on Boyd goes back to the Wildcats. Not only that, it just – you don't want to get on the bad side of the officials, and also you don't want to lose focus, and that's one of the easiest ways to lose focus is just getting in your own head that these officials are against us, and it's just,
right.
you have to play the game.
Just got to play basketball.
Slocum tries to respond. Collins, Slocum trailing him, trying to go for the steal, able to avoid Slocum there. Simons dialing it up from 3, no good, too hard on that shot. Rebounded by Slocum, sailing out of bounds. And the Falcons will get the ball back. Minute 20 left here in the third quarter. Falcons trailing by 9. Washington will be inbounding the ball. Washington getting it to Slocum. Guarding him is Malley. Slocum now trying to get a screen set. Falcons trying to shut down those driving lanes. Washington now working his way inside. Nice reverse layup on that. Washington putting it up, putting it in. 11-point lead for the Wildcats.
Really comfortable on those drives and finishes.
As we see now, Malley with a fake. Nice quick fake. Cross court. Collins now dialing it up from 3. No good. Rebounded. No. Fight for the rebound. Malley now with the floater. Putting it up and putting it in. Way to stay with the ball, Malley. Putting it up, putting it in, and it's cut down to 9 again. Slocum gonna get, that's Washington. Timeout called by Struthers. Wildcats taking a 30-second timeout. 33.5 seconds left in the third quarter. Falcons turning it up offensively here. We see a 14-point quarter for them so far. We see them shooting the ball a little bit more. But one guy I want to note, other than Simons, of course, with his 19, Isaac Boyd, 8 points, really doing it on both sides of the floor right now, defensively, offensively. And I said it earlier, and I'll say it again, is that Isaac Boyd is developing into that second scoring option that the Falcons desperately need. And, like last year, Falcons had guys like Chris Brown, a guy that could shoot threes, was also a guy that 20-point threat. You need some of those guys to take that pressure off of Simons. I would, I would assume, right? Every star player needs his second string guy to go to when things aren't going right for him.
Or to just spread the points out around your team. They have guys that can shoot. They have guys that can run cuts. They have guys that can run picks. and rolls. It's definitely doable.
As Washington straightens that one out, putting a 3 up and in, 12-point Wildcat lead.
And you also have people like Collins out there right now, who's a great threat from deep. And you can get some of these guys going. It's just finding the correct scheme to put them in.
As now holding the ball is Simons, 10 seconds left. As it getting it to Simons. And that's going to be a push on Bloom, and the Wildcats are going to get the ball back. 4.3 left. Leonard checking in, as well as Metzka. As looking to get the last shot up of the quarter before we head into the fourth. Slocum, 3 seconds and ticking. Getting it, that's Barker from deep. No good off of the back rim. And the Wildcats are leading it 50-38. Falcons gonna need to put something together to try to get their first win of the season. We'll see if the Wildcats can hold them or if the Falcons can make a comeback. And we'll have that fourth and final quarter here and more live on ysnlive.com.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
As we resume action now for the fourth and final quarter of regulation, we got 8 minutes to go with the Falcons trailing by 12, 50-38. Wildcats leading it. Ty Bartell along with Brandon Colangelo for your call here tonight. And right now, Brandon, what are you looking for in this fourth quarter for either the Falcons to come back or the Wildcats to hold?
Well, as far as the Falcons being down, they need to get this offense clicking. They need to get their shooters open on the perimeter. They've been able to make it happen. It's just letting them fall. But as far as Struthers, they need to keep the pressure on defense. They need to keep it on top of them. Otherwise, the Falcons have a good chance of coming back.
As Slocum now with the ball. Gianni Malley covering. Slocum out to Barker. Barker inside, that's Leonard now back outside. Trey Metzka to Washington. Washington dribbles it up to the top, gives it back to Slocum. Falcons doing a great job of trying to shut down those those driving lanes, I should say. As Leonard now back with the ball, Joe Roth on him. Washington stops around the free throw line, now passes back out to Barker, now to Metzka. Metzka dialing it in from 3. Are you kidding me? Another triple from Metzka, 5 on the night, 17 on the night total for Metzka, and a 53-38 Wildcat lead. And trying to drive inside, shot is up. Boyd putting that up and in. He's in the double digits now, 10 on the night. And I mean, if this is anything, I mean, it gives you hope for the future for the Falcons that you have a guy in Isaac Boyd that you can kind of turn to as your second scorer. And again, oh my goodness. Call the fire department. 5-alarm fire is happening in the Falcon Stadium as it comes in the form of Trey Metzka. 6 triples on the night.
What a finish by Simons. Acrobatic.
Todd Simons immediately responding, and he has 21 on the night. You want to talk about competition? As Metzka now. 26 threes on the night, 21 for Simons.
And he's telling the referee, what do you want me to do? I have to take that shot.
Has 22 on the night as he converts the and one opportunity. Slocum, cross-court pass, Washington getting into that trap. Now back out, Barker. Barker driving inside, tries to go up, looking for the foul, did not get it, goes out of bounds. Looks like it's going to go, or stay with the Wildcats, I should say. Slocum will be inbounding.
As Dan Evans comes in for the Falcons.
As Schaefer checking in. Slocum looking for a man. Getting open is Metzka. Yeah. Metzka with another 3. You're kidding me. Get out of his way, folks.
He's on.
Man, oh man, 7 triples on the night for Metzka. Simons trying to respond. Back out. Inside is Boyd. Boyd trying to back down his defender and getting a foul called on him. Boy, they were able to contain him in the second and third quarter. The lid is blown off for Metzka and his potential.
Number 3 is a correct number for him to wear.
Number 3, his name is Trey, and he has 7 triples on the night. Are you kidding me? 23 points for Metzger, as he is single-handedly burning this Fitch defense from deep.
Doing a great job from behind the arc. Perfect form, perfect arc on those shots.
As Metzger, 7 triples on the night, 23 points total. I mean, we saw him heat it up. He had an 11-point first quarter. Kind of went quiet, though, that second and third. Not this quarter at all. He's looking to finish this game out and close it, as the Falcons were able to close the lead within 14 now. Leonard to Washington. Washington gets it to Leonard. Finds Slocum. Slocum back out to Washington. Washington trying to drive his way inside. Nice move inside. Great pump fake on the drive, putting it up, putting it in 61 to 45.
What footwork by Washington on that take.
As Simons getting it to Evans. Evans working his way, contested shot up, no good. Metzger with the rebound. Metzger pass out to Washington. Washington on the transition, shot is up, blocked, no, it's a foul. Simons committing the foul, going to the line. 4-2 will be Washington, as the Struthers Wildcats are blowing the lid way off this thing at the fourth quarter here.
It looks like they want to go home early.
Absolutely, as we see now Washington going to the line for 2. Washington, we've been talking all the night about Metzger with his 23. Washington has quietly scored 17 points so far for the Wildcats, as he misses his first of 2 free throws. But Washington, coming off the bench, didn't even start originally in this game, has been a catalyst, and he's injected the adrenaline into this Wildcats team off of the bench.
He's played great out there. I mean, fantastic footwork on those drives, and great shots. I mean, he had that 3 right there to start the quarter and sunk it.
As he comes out, 18 points on the night for Washington. As Boyd to Roth, back out, that is Evans, open, no, goes to Simons. Simons contested mid-ranger, no good. Rebounded, no, fight for the rebound, foul is called.
And you know, the Falcons are really deferring to Simons now. And you know, it's something we said, you know, you want to get the ball to Simons to get his offense going, but you can't completely defer. You know, you can't just have him taking mid-range shots the whole quarter.
Absolutely, and especially not in the situation you're in, where it's a situation where you could still come back. But, I mean, when you're just deferring to one guy, lining up a wide-open 3, no good. Fight for the rebound. We'll see who comes away with it. It looks like the Wildcats do get it. Schaefer, nice pass inside. And, boy, every chamber is filled right now for the Wildcats. That's a nice pass inside from Schaefer. Getting another bucket up and in. 19-point lead for the Wildcats. Looking for the block, but it is a foul. Man, oh man, this Wildcats team. They weren't, I'll tell you what, they weren't 23-4 last season for nothing. They didn't go as far in the playoffs as they did for nothing. This is a very talented Struthers basketball team that threatens to go deep into the playoffs this year. If we're able to have this playoffs, if this tournament is able to go through, this is a team I'd be worried about facing going forward, because on all fronts, defensively, athleticism, three-point shooting, passing, inside scoring, this is a team that has it all, Brandon.
Absolutely, and well coached. I mean, they know exactly what they should be doing on the court, at least is what it seems like. They make a good show about it.
As we see rattling in that free throw attempt, that was Underwood. As Slocum out to Leonard. Leonard now to Barker. Barker to Metzger. Surprised he didn't take a three from there.
Oh.
He does. He's trying to get the heat check. Metzger back out. That's Barker. Metzger.
Oh, he's looking.
Fake the 3. Leonard backs his man down, puts it up and puts it in. But that's what we're talking about. If the 3's not there, they have the guys to just back you down and beat you inside. As the lead grows to 20 now for the Wildcats.
And they're not afraid to go to their guys on offense, rather. And the Falcons seem to be really hesitant to let any offense fly, at least individually.
As off the fingertips, Leonard has it, running in transition. Slocum tries to get the pass to Barker. Nice strip and steal from the Falcons. Underwood now. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded Simon. Second shot opportunity up, no good. Foul is on the shot. Will go to the line, 4-2. As Simons, 22 on the night. looking to extend his point totals for the night and try to break the lead within 20 from the Wildcats. Simons, I mean, we saw him doing his job, but I mean, at some points, the team is relying on Simons too much, and you're not getting enough. I mean, we saw Isaac Boyd coming along as trying to be that second point threat, but this Falcons team in general, it's a feeling out process, as you keep saying, Brandon. They just got to figure it out.
Yeah, they really do, and it comes down to practice and running plays and just kind of the repetition of it.
As Schaefer now dials up a three, misses everything, puts it back up on the reverse layup. Even when mistakes are made, the Wildcats are able to immediately correct them, and it's a 20-point lead yet again for the Wildcats. Is now with the ball. That is Underwood. Underwood rattles that one in and home, cutting it back down to 18. As the Falcons still hustling fairly well, too, despite the lead. As we see Schaefer again putting it up and putting it in, and the closers are coming in and coming out strong for the Wildcats right now.
That's a 20-point lead for them.
And a full timeout now. Boy, oh boy, 70-50. With that full timeout, we will also take a real quick break for a message for our sponsors here live on YSN.
Local teams are heating up the hardwoods, and you can keep up with all the action on and off the court with Five Guys Hoop News all season long on 21 Sports. WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown is going the extra mile. With the largest inventory of new 2020 Chevrolet vehicles, your journey to a better vehicle starts at the Mahoning Valley's #1 new car dealer, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
As we're resuming action, final 3:18 left in this fourth quarter between the Struthers Wildcats and the Austintown Fitch Falcons. Fitch trailing by a score of 20 behind the high point totals and the scoring of guys like Trey Metzka and Brandon Washington for the Wildcats. But all around, Brandon, we talked about this Wildcats team and just how talented on all fronts they are. They're really putting it together, and very impressive to see them being able to do this early on in a season like this.
Oh, absolutely. They seem to be greatly drilled right now on the floor. They know what plays they should be running. Their point guards are calling the plays from the top of the key. It's really smooth offense and great effort on defense for them.
Underwood to Smith, inside Simons. Simons makes a move, gets his way inside, unable to get the extension he needed on that shot. Ball sails out of bounds, goes to the Wildcats. As now the Wildcats, that is Barker. Barker trying to get it to his man, sailing out of bounds. That was Colin Ryan the pass was intended for. Falcons get the ball back, 2:55 left in this game. As we see, dialing it up from three is Bloom. No good, rebounded, fighting for the rebound, going to Metzka. Metzka now on the transition, tries to get it to someone. Looks like it is a jump ball is called.
Wow.
Nice grab by the Falcons on transition to get a jump ball scenario. Does go back to the Falcons on alternating possessions. As we see some substitutions now for the Falcons. They're bringing in a little bit more of the bench squad. Corey Mitchell is in now. As Simons feeds it to the corner. Smith puts it up. No good, rattles in and out. Smith really looking for that shot tonight. Unable to find it so far. As we see, Ryan gets it out. That is Kimball. Kimball out to Ryan. Ryan in the corner, out Leonard, faking the three, now driving his way inside. Nice move, unable to finish though. Simons with the rebound. Simons, two men in front of him, tries to make the move, putting it up and putting it in. Great transition bucket from Todd Simons, 26 on the night. Now trying to go immediately, response is Barker, and that looks like a foul is called on the push. 2:01 left. And we're going to have a couple more subs now for the Wildcats. William Bloom will be checking in, as well as Nick Delgrada. And they will be checking in. We'll see who's checking out, as Metzka will be checking out. The three-point threat looks like his night might be done. 7 triples on the night for Metzka. Leonard also one checking out. As we see Ryan getting it to Bloom. Bloom out, back to Ryan. Ryan dribbles his way to the top, now to Kimball. Kimball backing his man in, now back out. That is to Bloom. Trying to get the shot up and in. Another great shot from the Wildcats. 72-52, 20-point lead back to where it was. Faking the three, stepping in for the mid-ranger. No good, short on that shot. Rebound by Bloom, handed it off to Barker. Barker tries to go all the way, now backs out of the shot. Lining it up is Kimball from distance, putting it up and putting it in. Raining down triples, 75 points on the night for the Wildcats as a team. Boy, oh boy. Cam Smith driving baseline, gets it blocked out of his hands, and the Falcons are just throwing anything they can at the basket, but playing ultimately defeated right now. As a wow. How do you even announce it, Brandon? Another shot up and in. You want to talk about a team that just doesn't seem like they can miss right now. The Wildcats hitting on every cylinder right now.
Absolutely firing. Oh my goodness. I mean, they're just one after another. We can't seem to keep up with it.
And for 60 seconds left now in this game, the Wildcats up by 25, and which is no doubtably going to end up in a victory for the Wildcats, as they will remain undefeated so far in this season. But for Fitch, I mean, after the loss last night to Howland, there were some good things we saw defensively. The defense, the hustle was there in this game. They just couldn't keep up with the Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, and it comes down to their offense, and it comes down to just keeping up with the pace that the other team's presenting them. I mean, they can't seem to match the intensity of the other team. They can't, on offense at least. Defense, they seem to match and overtake them, but they can't seem to make anything of the turnovers that's creating even.
And there's players that are missing, of course, for the Falcons, so the bench is not as deep. But, I mean, we saw a good defense played from them in that first half. But come the second half, you could just tell the Falcons were starting to get tired out there. They were starting to get gassed. And with as deep of a bench as the Wildcats have, every single one of these guys is 100% go. Let's go. Every one of them has a Ferrari engine built into them, for a lack of a better term. And they're just able to 0 to 100. I mean, from the ball, from the dribble to the rim. And guys like Slocum and Washington and guys like that are able to just get the ball and just go every single time. And that wears on a defense over time.
Absolutely, because Struthers has run almost full tilt this entire game, and it's shown in their tremendous win over the Falcons.
As we see the final 10 seconds will tick off the clock, and that will lead the Struthers Wildcats to a 2-0 start here early on in this season. Falcons will drop to 0-2 after back-to-back losses last night and tonight to Hudson and now to the Struthers Wildcats. If you're catching Fitch, next game they will be at Cardinal Mooney High School. That's going to be next Friday, December 11th, at Mooney High School, trying to right the ship and get their first win of the season. Struthers' next game will be Friday as well, December 11th. They will be at home against Jefferson area Falcons. So after beating these Falcons, they're going to welcome in another set of Falcons. If they played these Falcons like they played our Falcons here tonight, we're going to probably see another Wildcats victory. But nonetheless, Struthers will be playing next Friday against the Jefferson area Falcons. But I mean, tale of two halves. Fitch played good defense in the first half, got gas in the second, Brandon. Looking forward for this Wildcats team. This is probably going to be one of the better teams in this whole entire area.
Absolutely. They showed it tonight. Great athleticism, great offensive potential. I mean, they come out here and they can make all of their shots from down deep, from deep. Great offensive team. Great motor on defense also.
And of course, we will have a game for you. Those games will both be on ysnlive.com, both the Mooney game with Fitch next Friday, as well as Jefferson area versus Struthers. I'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in and watching this broadcast of YSN Live basketball between the Falcons and Struthers. I'd like to thank our proud owner, DJ Oakley, for making this all possible and getting this whole thing set up for us, to our GM, Steve Leslie, and most importantly, to all of you watching from wherever you may be, Struthers, Austintown area. You guys are what makes this possible. You guys feed these streams, and you guys support these kids from afar in this crazy COVID year, so we'd like to thank you. from Austintown, Ohio, from Struthers, Ohio, or wherever you may be in high school basketball. This is Ty Bartell and Brandon Colangelo bidding you all a farewell and a good night, everybody.
This broadcast stream is copyrighted by Yoakley Scott Corporation, LLC. Any other use of this telecast, any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without YSN's consent is prohibited.